Howdy folks, today we're going to talk about the Burson V6 Vivid op amps along with the Burson Playmate 2, which is a phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal headphone amplifier DAC device. It's an all-in-one unit and you can basically plug it in with USB-C or SPDIF optical. Sorry, get that in the light. These are outputs, RCA, single-ended outputs. So basically the inputs are USB-C and SPDIF optical. And that actually really works well for me. In any case, all-in-one device, you just plug this into your device, being Mac, phone, PC, all good, no problems. You don't need drivers, although you could load them, but it doesn't really do anything. It gives you some extra sample rates and whatnot, but at least on PCs, no big deal. All right, so these are the V6 Vivid op amps, these little four bad boys in the back. These are upgrades for this device. You can put them in any type of device that you might have that will take op amps that can fit them, and they are not too small. Chip op amps are, little teeny tiny things, so you can fit those in a really small space. In any case, the Burson Playmate 2 is definitely designed to take anything Burson makes, and so these are an upgrade, and I've tried them for now almost a month on a lot of headphones, and at this point pretty much I have some words to talk about this. I'm going to try and go into this quickly because everyone's just like, yeah, you can use a lot of flowery language, but really, what is it? What do these do? And honestly, so these are in terms of an upgrade for this, I want to say they give it a little bit more headroom in terms of what you can hear. It sounds a little more open. I believe they have all the details, and so in terms of details, we're talking about music you're playing could be either very delicate, also directly in your face, a lot of volume, say like EDM versus I don't know classical. These give you a incredibly perfect experience on everything. And I've talked about this in a couple other videos, but no digital sheen. And this is like one of my pet peeves. Lower end devices, especially, like honestly, if I pull out my phone and I talk about this versus this phone, it's a quad saber DAC, has a digital sheen compared to this. There's just no question about it. What that comes off as is everything has kind of it's almost like a slightly elevated treble sheen to it. Some people think it sounds more clear, but what I think it sounds like is less realistic, actually. So a clinical device that we might say something like this is, although this is probably a bad example, but saber DACs are known for being fairly glary and clear, shall we say. This is a pretty well different experience. So if I had to compare this to that, that's gone. You hear incredibly rich, detailed, open sound. It's very delicate when a track calls for it. If a track is really busy and complicated and has a lot of bass slam, say EDM, pumping the volume, there's no faltering on this. Absolutely none. Of course, you would expect that. But compared to everything else I own, this has actually better synergy with anything else. And that is with the V6 Vivids. I've kind of like, I'm not going to say that my tastes have changed, but I can appreciate more detail versus just listening to, say, a track for musicality. Sometimes a little extra detail is the icing on the cake, the cherry on top. And this thing has all of that in spades in an extremely natural, organic way. It has, so this is all full Class A, and it has all the mojo of a tube amp. I have a X-Duo TA20 tube amp, and this, quite honestly, I don't know why anybody would want to get a tube amp after they tried something like this. This thing, especially with the Vivids, is just all the things you would want. The soundstage is deep, incredibly transparent, open, wide, everything is just how it should be. The bass is incredibly hard hitting on any headphone you try. If you try certain headphones, I'm not even going to get examples because it doesn't matter, but because I've tried like 80 headphones or more at this point, like IEMs that I've rated more than that. But the point I'm trying to make is just that this is clearly going to give you an experience that is absolutely what was intended out of your headphone. Clearly. The Vivids, in terms of comparison to the standard op amps, I really, now look, I like to A/B test things, but doing that on this is actually takes me like 10 minutes because I like kind of pull these out, put in the other op amps, like make damn sure I haven't screwed anything up and like bent a leg over because those are little chips. So the point I'm trying to make is that it takes a while and my audio memory is shot by that point. So I have to sit there and listen to multiple headphones over a long time to really, really, really try and like, does my brain really think that's more? And, you know, obviously there's a lot of psychoacoustic stuff, but I mean, I really do think that these are as much as you'd ever need in, especially for an IEM. I mean, maybe there's some planar headphones that need more power than this. I think it's 3 watts, which is insane, especially for IEMs. But again, you know, if I were to buy this, I would absolutely try and get the Vivid. Well, at least the Vivids are the classic upgrades compared to the stock op amps. There's no question. They are absolutely an upgrade, and I think what you'll end up with is an all-in-one device that gives you everything for a lifetime of music enjoyment through any headphone that you might have. And that's kind of a bold statement. Now, look, I'm not a high roller. I'm not going to spend $1 billion on like a rack, a ton of things. I really do feel like that a properly designed headphone amp, which this is, should be able to do all those things with just a nice little USB input or an SPDIF. I really think that. And I mean, this is like based on what I know of electronics and things. The rest is kind of esoteric. Maybe measurements matter, maybe not. But I mean, in my opinion, this is about as good as you're going to get for the price. Like high $700, depending on if there's sales or whatever. The Vivids, if we pull up their page here, they are these. Oh, sorry, the Vivids are here. Classics are here. They look like that. They're obviously not going to fit in a small device. But, you know, if we look at the price of these, if you just straight up buy them, which are these, then we can find that they're $145 for a set of duals, and those are 2 stereo duals. You can also buy them in other packages, monos and such. Not cheap, really. But in terms of end game sound, like, you want to buy one thing and like you're done, basically, then I really do think that this is a device that can do that for you. I really think that. And in all capacities, Mac, PC, not mobile, tell you that. But I love the Vivids, and like this is absolutely my reference for anything right now. If it can't sound good on this, then it's probably going to get thrown in the trash, honestly. Also, this is extremely revealing. The output impedance is extremely low. I measured it at now, and the problem really is that my multimeter is not, I'm going to say, good enough for this. At least I don't trust it. It's an Allergent U something. It's like $400. Jesus, I'd have to have it in front of me to get the model number. Anyway, it's not bad, but measured the output impedance at like 0.7 ohm, I believe. So, and that was just on the little small, and I think these are like wired together as far as I could tell on the circuit boards. It's probably the same. 0.7 is really, really, really good. And for IEMs, that's fantastic. Again, my multimeter might be reading that high. I'm not entirely sure. I think that published specifications of this are slightly lower than that. I believe maybe 0.5. Whatever. The point I'm trying to get to is that you will never have coloration on a very low output impedance balanced armature set. And that's kind of what people kind of like, they want sort of a high-end device for, is like maybe I want an Andromeda, or like I've got the RSVs that they're like, I don't know, I think 6 ohm output impedance, except they're a low sensitivity, which is like, eh. But anyways, the point of that is that they actually respond to a lower output impedance gives them more bass, and it's actually by enough to hear. by a bit, which means that a device like this is going to kill it. And in fact, it does. So headphones, IEMs, I believe that you're going to have a wonderful experience with anything. And oh, baby, I really love this thing. All right. Thanks a lot, folks. Take care. I'll talk to you on the next one.